Tonight will be the coldest night of the season so far. Temperatures in the metro are dropping. We are just above freezing, already below freezing off to the north of us. Let's check out those temperatures off to our northwest. The air coming in from this direction, so our winds are still blowing in from the north. It's 36 degrees, but we've got a north wind at about 12 miles per hour, so it feels like it's already below freezing. The wind chill is 28 degrees in Jackson, even colder to the northwest of us in the Delta. By tomorrow morning, when temperatures fall into the mid-20s, skies clear overnight, winds are still going to be blowing in from the north at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. That will push our wind chills down into the upper teens to low 20s as far south as places like Natchez and Macomb. Now, this cold snap is going to last as we head into the weekend. We'll have more information about that forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Byron?
Thank you, Ken. Well, most of us are happy that people have a safe place to stay and a warm place to stay when the temperatures drop this low, but not everyone has that option. WJTV's Andrew Moore is at the Salvation Army after volunteers have spent the night outside handing out supplies to anyone staying out in the cold weather. And Andrew, what were they giving out today?
Well, Byron, they were giving out plates, blankets, hot chocolate to some of the less fortunate. As Ken told you, that it is cold outside, and it didn't stop folks here at Salvation Army preventing them from giving those donations to the homeless. We have Aaron Campbell with the Salvation Army. Aaron, tell me, why is it so important? Why was it so important to go out and, I guess, share a little light to the homeless?
Well, this is the season of giving, and this is the basic sense of humanity, is giving back and taking care of each other. And this is our mission, is showing the love of Christ. And it is quite cold, and so we decided, you know, we provide the basic needs. So we gave hot chocolate, blankets, clothing to people who are sleeping on the ground. It's very cold, and we need to help out.
One other question. I know this is the Center of Hope. Hundreds of people come here seek shelter. Tell me, how many people do you guys usually hold here? And tell me the gist about it. When is it open, and how can people, I guess, get shelter?
Yeah, every night this shelter is open, 365 days out of the year, and it's a little over 75 people per night. And again, it's a free option for people to come and have solitude, have shelter, have sanctuary to come to. It's safe. You will get meals, and if you need clothing, we're here for that. It's what we do, and that's why donations are so important, is to keep shelters like this open and stable.
Gotcha. So one other question, I promise you, the last and final question, I'm sure is going to be, like Ken said, it's going to be cold the coming nights to come. Tell me, are you guys going to be out giving out to the homeless once again?
Absolutely. Once it gets below freezing, and we consider that about 30 degrees, and it's about 26 right now, we will always be out with our canteen, providing clothing, providing blankets, food, and hot chocolate.
Thank you so much, Aaron. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, guys, once again, we're at the Salvation Army, where the Salvation Army just gave a little light to the homeless tonight, as it is freezing, and we can definitely confirm it out here. We'll send it back to you all in the studio.
All right, Andrew, you get warm then. Well, the city of Jackson made a donation to help the Salvation Army keep people in need warm. Participants in this year's Christmas parade gave socks, toiletries, and scarves as their entry fee into the parade.
You know, giving is important because there always needs to be met. And the only way that we can do that is through the generosity and through the hospitality of the people who are in not only this city, but in the state.
And those are the volunteers we just spoke with who handed out those items tonight. Snowstorms are causing major pileups in parts of the Midwest. A snow squall and the slick roads are being blamed for this deadly pileup of mangled cars, trucks, and 18-wheelers. 3 people were killed, 11 people injured in Michigan. 300 miles east in Ohio, another pileup had as many as 50 vehicles after a truck jackknifed on the icy road. In upstate New York, the moving system dropped nearly 17 inches of thick, sticky lake-effect snow an hour north of Syracuse, New York. Now let's go back to Ken.
Well, the good news is we don't have any of that to deal with. Although it will be cold, skies will be clearing tonight, and we do get the sun back for tomorrow. That's more good news. I actually think the coldest night will be Friday night going into Saturday morning with clear skies and winds calming down. Temperatures will actually drop into the lower to mid-20s, although, of course, the wind chill won't be a factor on your Saturday morning. It's going to be chilly for the Christmas parade Saturday afternoon, but temperatures will start to warm up as this high pressure moves to the east of us and our winds reverse out of the south, so there will be a warming trend over the weekend. So the cold snap's only going to last for about 2.5 days. And as we warm up, we're also going to bring in more cloud cover and a chance of rain. We'll talk about that with our 8-day forecast coming up in about 10 minutes.
All right, Ken, in other news tonight, a thick-thinking woman and her neighbor, they take down a man before police arrived on the scene. The man is now behind bars, and WJTV's Lauren Fluker joins us now to explain how this all happened. Lauren.
Byron, a Madison County woman came face-to-face with an intruder in her home. Now, she was able to fight back and, with the help of a neighbor, keep him locked down until police arrived on the scene. Canton police say 18-year-old D'Angelo Jackson broke into a home on Singleton Street around 11 o'clock Wednesday night.
The lady was in the shower, so she didn't hear the noise. Once she got out of the shower, she heard the noise up front. She kind of peeked up front, saw him.
According to police, the homeowner then called for help, right before she was forced to defend herself.
He rushed her, attacked her, slammed her against the wall. They got into a fight in the living room. The fight ended up outside.
That's when the next-door neighbor jumped in to help. Police arrived and arrested Jackson, who now faces several charges, including breaking and entering, burglary of possessions, and simple assault.
It's not worth it, because it could have easily been, his life could have been taken. I know, because we do have that castle law, so he could have easily been shot.
The homeowner did walk away with minor injuries. She did not want to talk with us on camera today, but she's expected to be okay. Lauren Fluker, WJTV 12.
All right, Lauren. Well, a man convicted of a 2015 sexual assault in Rankin County learns his fate. Samuel Young Jr. was sentenced to life in jail without the possibility of parole. He was found guilty of sexual battery. The incident happened at the victim's apartment on Rice Road in June of 2015. Police arrested 2 people in connection with car burglaries in Ridgeland. Now they are searching for one more person. Police say Octavius Banks and Bon Jovi Hardiman tried to escape when police found them inside one of the stolen cars. There were 2 car burglaries at Planet Fitness and one at the club on Lake Harbor Drive. Police found one of the cars on Ridgewood Road yesterday. That is when the people inside tried to run, and police caught these 2. They are still searching for the 3rd person. A Madison County insurance agent is behind bars for false pretense. Officials say Samuel James unlawfully took more than $500 from a Hinds County resident. We are told that he took premiums for homeowners insurance, but he did not use it for that purpose. His bond is set for $5,000, and his trial is set for June. He could face up to 10 years in prison and a fine of $10,000. Jackson police are investigating the robbery of a Rite Aid. We're told that it was a strong-armed robbery. A man walked into the Rite Aid on Woodrow Wilson Avenue today and then assaulted the cashier. He got away with cash. Now police are looking for the car he was in. It's a silver Dodge Avenger with a Florida license plate. A website redirect in the Jackson mayoral race is shaking up what's been a clean campaign so far. A candidate for Jackson Mayor, Chukwe Antar Lumumba, says that his camp is not responsible for rerouting 2 opponents' websites to his own campaign site. Lumumba says when you search Robert Graham or John Horn for mayor, the sites would then take you to Lumumba's site. Well, since then, Lumumba says his campaign has reached out to the FCC and the Secretary of State's office. He is calling it dirty politics, and that's not something he's a part of.
Someone typed in on these websites, it redirected them to our actual page, right? Giving the impression that somebody, that we were trying to direct someone to our page, and that in no way was the case.
If you want to find out more about the mayoral candidates, visit our website. It's WJTV.com. We reached out to the candidates to ask what they plan to do about the city's crumbling infrastructure. We have an update on a water line break in Madison. Water for people on Audubon Court, that's in St. Ives subdivision, was temporarily shut down earlier today. Well, we're told that crews were working to repair a service line. Water has now been restored. The area is under a boil water notice. We have a Mississippi Most Wanted capture to tell you about. Police in Louisiana stopped a man who is wanted in several warrants here in Mississippi. Officers pulled over Jermaine Simmons for a traffic violation and then arrested him for possession of marijuana. He is facing a charge in Adams County for possession of a weapon by a convicted felon. There are also warrants for his arrest in Pike County for aggravated assault, kidnapping, and robbery. It's a busy season for stores, and now Ridgeland police are warning them to be on the lookout for counterfeit money. The police department has gotten reports of counterfeit money being used around the city. Police say that they have had 2 fake money incidents since the holiday season started. Both were at cell phone kiosks inside North Park Mall. There have been 13 reported cases this year, all of them along County Line Road.
Pay attention to your tenants, your customers. Who's coming in, who is pacing around, who's looking for cameras, who's coming in multiple groups. Be on your guard and be aware. Always have one of those counterfeit pins to check it.
Well, Daniel says most of the fake money cases happen at small businesses. If you come across any counterfeit dollars, you are asked to call police. Tonight was the annual Doing Business with the City reception in Jackson. The event provides information about bid opportunities in the city.
People come from all over the Southeast to look at ways to grow our economy, whether it be with the city or in the city.
This allows the business community to come in and first of all mingle, network, get to know each other, but also we get a chance to give out a lot of stats that people may not know about the good, positive things that are going on in the city.
Well, some of those stats tonight were from the 1% sales tax program. They also talked about the Jackson 500 Workforce Development Program. The Mississippi Believe It campaign is debuting 4 new ads and working to enhance what children learn about their home state. The campaign started 11 years ago, and there are already 17 ads about the various accomplishments out of Mississippi. These new ads highlight some notable figures from the Magnolia State, including the first female NFL referee and the first African-American naval pilot. The agency hired 2 teachers over the summer, and there are now lessons plans to go with each one of these ads.
So now 4th graders and their teachers can use all these ads to continue to learn more about Mississippi when they study Mississippi history in the 4th grade. And
the agency hopes that they can tell a positive story about Mississippi and change opinions about across the country. Now let's get another check of the forecast with Ken.
All right, bundle those kids up first thing in the morning out at the bus stop. We are going to get the sun back, but it will still be a bit breezy out there and, of course, cold. Temperatures dropping into the mid-20s by 7 a.m. Wind chills could be as low as 15 to 20 degrees just before sunrise. Now, the weather will get a little bit better as we go through the weekend. Temperatures will eventually warm back up. We'll talk about that and when our next chance of rain will move in. That's in the forecast coming up next. You're watching WJTV 12. Well, the much advertised Arctic air has finally moved into the southeast. Here's the core of the high pressure right now over the central plains. Now, as this high pressure continues to build in, you see this cloud cover, it will continue to erode away. We still do have some clouds over central Mississippi, but give it a couple of hours right after midnight, and I think we'll see clear skies. That's going to help our temperatures to drop even more, combined with those northerly winds bringing in that cold air. So here's a look at Live IMAX 12. No rain here on the map, but we do have those clouds. But back here in the Delta, we've already cleared out places like Greenville and Belzona and back around Yazoo City. So it's just a matter of time before we see those clear skies as well. And it's only a matter of time before temperatures drop below freezing. 10 o'clock hour, we are above freezing. It is 36 degrees, but the air now is pretty dry. The dew point's at 21, and those winds are still howling in from the north at about 12 miles per hour. We've seen wind gusts during the day today up to nearly 20 miles per hour. So it's been a breezy day. It's been cloudy. It's been cold, and the wind and the cold will continue overnight even as the skies clear. Here's a look at current wind speed and direction. The arrows that denotes the direction of the wind. So it's coming in from the north at about 12 miles per hour in places like Natchez and Vicksburg and Jackson, 13 miles per hour sustained wind right now. Meridian, of course, that drives the wind chill down even more. It feels like it is below freezing from Natchez back over to the metro into Vicksburg and especially in the Delta. That's where it's the coldest. Right now it feels like it's 24 degrees in Greenville. Now with the temperature dropping into the mid-20s in the morning and the wind still blowing in from the north, we're going to see those wind chills even lower for tomorrow and not much of a warm up during the day, even though we are expecting a day filled with sunshine. So again, we're going to start in the morning, temperatures well below freezing. We're expecting to drop below freezing right after midnight. So we're going to spend several hours below the freezing mark. Combine that with the winds, and we mentioned this earlier, the wind chills are going to be dropping into the upper teens to low 20s as far south as the Pine Belt and southwest Mississippi. During the day with full sunshine, highs will warm into the lower to mid 40s, maybe upper 40s down to our south, but nobody tomorrow will make it up to about 50 degrees. Thanks to this weather maker, this big chunk of cold air headed southeastward. So sunny and cold on your Friday, but after a cold start on Saturday, the high pressure moves to the east, winds shift out of the south, and we're going to start a warming trend. It's still going to be pretty chilly during the day Saturday for the Christmas parade, so you're going to have to wear gloves, a hat, a coat if you're going to be standing out in the cold weather for a couple of hours. But as the weekend goes along, we're going to see generally better weather. It's going to warm up and we'll see cloud cover increasing. Now tomorrow, of course, it's going to be sunny with that high temperature of 44 degrees. We're going to make it back up to 50 on your Saturday, 60s on Sunday. But again, as we warm up, we're bringing in clouds, and Byron, we're going to see a chance of rain starting late Sunday night and through the day Monday. Right now, it doesn't look like it's going to be a major storm. No thunderstorms, maybe some heavy rain at times, and about a 50% chance.
All right, so but just bundle up for the next couple of days.
Yeah, the weekend is going to be cold, especially on your Saturday morning.
All right, thanks again.
Yeah.
And still to come, we lost an American hero today, and after the break, we'll take a look at the touching ways people are remembering John Glenn. We'll be right back. The tributes are flowing in from across the world following the death of former astronaut and Ohio Senator John Glenn. Don Champion has more from Dallas.
Speed, John Glenn. John Glenn was a hero to so many, even the President of the United States. The White House released a statement from President Obama Thursday that called Glenn an icon and a friend, and a man who always had the right stuff. President-elect Donald Trump also shared his thoughts while visiting Columbus in Glenn's home state of Ohio.
He was a great American hero, a truly great American hero. I met him on 2 separate occasions.
NASA created a tribute page dedicated to Glenn's life and tweeted, "We are saddened by the loss of Senator John Glenn, the first American to orbit Earth, a true American hero." The Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum in Washington also sent out a tweet that reads, "His legacy of friendship and discovery will live in our halls forever." But nowhere is the impact of Glenn's death more powerful than in Ohio, where Glenn served as a senator for 4 terms. Ohio Governor John Kasich tweeted, "John Glenn is and always will be Ohio's ultimate hometown hero, and his passing today is an occasion for all of us to grieve." Don Champion, CBS News.
The Marine Corps also sent out a tweet calling Glenn a legend. The second officer shot near the campus of Georgia's southwestern state has died. The manhunt for the alleged cop killer ended today in Georgia. Mikhail Limbrick was on the run since police say that he shot 2 officers yesterday. Heavily armed police found shooting suspect Limbrick dead inside a home with what appears to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Police say Limbrick shot officers Nicholas Smar and Jody Smith when they responded to a domestic call Wednesday morning. Smar and Smith died of their injuries. Police swarmed this neighborhood and evacuated residents after receiving a tip that the 32-year-old shooter had barricaded himself inside a home.
This community came together. They worked with law enforcement, and they contributed to a reward fund, which gave went forward with information which led us to where he was at.
Our thoughts and prayers continue to be with them, with all the families that are involved in this tragedy.
While on the run, Limbrick left several Facebook posts. Police say Limbrick's criminal history record was 32 pages long. President-elect Donald Trump wants to keep his day job on the reality show The Apprentice. NBC and Trump's campaign say he will remain as an executive producer for the show. The move could be a major conflict of interest for NBC, whose network news division also reports on Trump's presidency. In the meantime, season 15 starts January 2nd and will be hosted by former California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now let's get a preview of sports with TJ.
All right, up next, there are more changes to the Ole Miss football coaching staff. We'll have details after the break. Plus, just months removed from their playing careers at Jackson State, 2 former Tigers are now getting their starts as coaches with their alma mater. That story when we come back. Well, the Ole Miss football team has a couple new openings just a week and a half after Dave Womack announced he would be retiring as defensive coordinator. The Rebels announced today they're firing their offensive coordinator as well as a recruiting assistant. Dan Werner, who has been the co-OC and quarterbacks coach with Hugh Freeze since he took over in Oxford 5 years ago, won't be returning next season. In 2015, the Rebels set school records in 5 offensive categories while leading the nation in 3. Also, Barney Ferrer is not returning. Ferrer's name was allegedly used in messages released on draft night in relation to Laramie Tunzel requesting help to pay some bills. Well, when you get out of college and you're looking for a job, all you're hoping is that someone will give you a chance. This past offseason, Jackson State women's basketball coach Serena Dixon had some positions to fill on her staff. She gave those jobs to her former players who are looking to make their marks as Division I coaches. Elisa Ross and Bridget Robinson are former Jackson State basketball players. This season, they're grad students at JSU. They're also first-year assistant coaches on Serena Dixon's staff.
I noticed that there were a lot of new people who would have to be trained, so why not train my own? After about 2 or 3 weeks, I really noticed how well they were doing, and a light went off and said, hey, they could do this job.
Ross and Robinson just finished their playing days for the Tigers last spring.
Not playing is different. It is a change after playing for so many years, and being around the game, that's just the enjoyment of it. That's what brings me joy.
You don't find too many 22-year-old assistant coaches on the Division I level. Like, it's not really heard of.
Ross's job on this coaching staff is player development, while Robinson is certified to recruit.
So they understand my philosophy and what I'm trying to build here. And not only that, the work ethic that these 2 young ladies had to help this program get from 8th place up to 2nd place was just tremendous to me.
They may be young, but the 2 say it hasn't been hard to get their former teammates to trust them with their new roles on the team.
It is different, but I mean, being able to say that I once was a player in this system around the coaches, it's an easy transition.
And then we can relate to the girls a little in a different way because we were once in their shoes, literally for me, less than 4 months ago. So
Ross, who played high school basketball at Callaway along with Robinson, also hope this first job helps them as they work towards their ultimate goals in the sport.
The goal is always to be ahead. Like I said, Coach Dixon has given me a great start.
I want to coach Division I. Yeah, Division I is where I want to stay.
Well, talk about getting your foot in the door. That's probably as good of a start as you can ask for if you're a former player trying to get into the coaching business. You're already at a Division I school.
Well, she sounds like she's probably going to make a Division I.
Yeah, both of them will. And what Coach Dixon was telling me is that Bridget Robinson, she just took her recruiting exam. There's an exam to go recruit. She got 100% on a recruiting exam.
Oh, they're already
yeah,
on the
it's
way.
a good start.
You better track her. Huh? We'll keep an eye on her. All right. Let's get another check the forecast with Ken.
All right, it's going to be a cold start to the weekend. Temperatures will be in the 20s in the morning, 40s on your Friday afternoon, up to 50 Saturday, and a little bit warmer for Sunday, up to 62 degrees. But we're also, of course, going to bring in a chance of rain. We'll tell you about that with our 8-day forecast that's coming up next. All right, here's a look at our forecast through the weekend. Of course, it's going to be a cold start, but at least we do get the sun back. Temperatures will be warming up by the second half of the weekend. Clouds increasing again. That's going to lead to a chance of rain late Sunday night. Most of the rain, though, is going to be on Monday. The rest of next week actually looks pretty quiet. We'll see another big cool down coming in by next Thursday.
All right, cold out there. All right, TJ, you get to start the cars.
Sure. I was going to let you have mine, but okay.
We'll see you back here tomorrow. Stay warm, everybody, and make it a good night.